What's up, everybody? Welcome to another review of something in the Disney universe. Something that I am very excited for. I was looking forward to. I'm pretty sure Alex was too. We're both Marvel heads here. And once again, a Marvel Studios presentation that knocks it out of the park. James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special came out just a few days ago. I've seen it already a few times. Loved it. What do you think? We'll just kind of do instant reactions to it.
I thought it was great. I think the time of it felt short, but I think only because we're used to seeing these characters in long form, and you wanted more because we know we're so familiar with these characters. But James Gunn definitely hit the holiday special marks with the the celebrity cameo. The music was awesome. Shout out to the old 97s.
Yeah.
It was fun. I will definitely be watching it again, given the new info we received this week, and I think we'll show that at the end of this, maybe since it came after we saw it.
Absolutely. I think this is something we're going to see with the Marvel Studio special presentations, specials that are about 40 minutes to an hour long, which like Werewolf by Night was paced perfect. This one, in a story that it needed to tell, I thought was perfect. Yeah, a little short for characters that we love. We want more of them, but this was awesome. This is actually the first time I think I've heard of the old 97s, and they were great.
They're in. I mean, I've heard of them, just through music or whatever, but they were in another movie. I want to say The Breakup, I think.
Oh, okay.
The one with Vince Vaughn.
And Jennifer Aniston? Okay.
Yes. I want to say that was the concert or a concert in the movie or something.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll touch on a lot of things, but music in a James Gunn, you're going to get some great needle drops. James Gunn, Tarantino, Danny Boyle are some of the best filmmakers when it comes to adding music to their projects. So, quick little synopsis on this. We get an old retroscope version of the story of why Christmas is banned, basically, with the Revengers. Rotoscope is a term, a way of animation used in the late 70s, early 80s, where they actually had live actors acting out the scenes, and then they just animated above them. Movies like Heavy Metal that came out, Lord of the Rings animation that was out. It's that rotoscope style. So if you look at James Gunn's Instagram, he showed he does a lot of behind the scenes after something comes out, and you see Michael Rooker with a young actor that plays the young Peter Quill in full costume and everything. So very cool that they use that. Like I said, it's an old tool that they used back in the day.
And I feel like it's probably something that they used in some of those old Christmas animated movies too.
I would think so. Yeah, a lot of those
Rankin Bass.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So
those were like more claymation or stop motion or something.
Yeah, but I think some of the older, like even like Christmas Carol versions that were animated might have been rotoscoped or whatever it's called. But
that is cool. I had never heard of that. Did you find that from the James Gunn post?
I actually saw that. It looked like that when I was watching it, but I just thought it was just old school animation. But I was watching the Nerdist Easter egg video, and they kind of mentioned that. So. And one thing I did notice right away was the opening credits on the opening song from the old 97s was actually in the same font as a Christmas Story. So again, a nice little nod there. But we find out Kraglin tells Mantis and Drax and everybody the story of why Peter's a little sad during Christmas time. And then Drax and Mantis, more Mantis than Drax, decide they want to give Peter a happy Christmas since he's still sad about Gamora. We find out that the Guardians now purchase Nowhere from the Collector, so they're running things there. Very Lando Calrissian running Bespin, Cloud City. Peter's the administrator of it and everything. But then also Mantis is hiding a secret that she wants to share to Peter, but still nervous about it. And then Drax decides, why don't we give him the best present ever? The thing he talks about the most, Kevin Bacon. So they decide to head over to Earth to bring Kevin Bacon into Nowhere to give Peter as a present. the warm and feelies of Christmas. Reach out to everybody. We get a great number by Kevin Bacon and the old 97s, which is available on Spotify with the entire soundtrack for this. So very cool to listen to. But we also get some what I thought were going to be little insights to Guardians Volume 3. We see more of Cosmo, voiced by, should have brought it up, the actress that voiced, or not voiced, but played
Maria something. I'm sorry. But yes, she was in the Borat sequel.
Yeah, Maria Bakalova.
Thank you.
She was Borat's daughter. So, but I'm very late here since I posted up on this, but we will be giving away some spoilers here. So, but it's very short. There's not too much. I mean, most of the spoilers were in the trailer anyway. But it's cool to see Cosmo voiced by her and using the telekinetic powers that Cosmo does have. But yeah, I mean, so that's pretty much the story. Mantis reveals at the end to Peter that she is also Ego's daughter, which makes her Peter's sister. And Peter tells her that that's the greatest present ever, being that he lost his mom, his dad, his second dad, which was Yondu, and Gomorrah. So being that he's got family, and I kind of see that trend with the recent Black Panther, how Shuri lost everybody in her family, but then gains a nephew. So, little families kind of brought out at once. James Gunn, again, hit the comedy aspect, hit the heart aspect, and I think we're going to get a lot of heart in Volume 3. We'll show the trailer later, but was there anything that you really enjoyed or that really kind of stood out to you on this special?
I think the songs were great. I have a running Christmas music playlist on Spotify. Those will definitely be getting added to. And of course, Drax and Mantis getting tanked at the bar. That was that was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing that they're pretty much the main stars of this, which James Gunn mentions in the recent, Infinity War and Endgame, and that even a little bit in Guardians 2, that their character, even though Mantis was introduced in Guardians 2, but their characters are kind of put back, in the background a little bit. So it was nice to have them in the forefront on this episode, and their interactions with each other, I think, are great. Mantis being, actually, they're both pretty naive in their own ways. But yeah, them, especially when they got to the Chinese theater in Hollywood with all the different characters, Jack Sparrow, the GoBot, which was hilarious. I mean, they got to see a GoBot in here, and even then they start taking pictures with people, and somebody refers to Drax as God of War. So,
that's right.
No, that was really funny. But yeah, them at the club was pretty hilarious. Drax, the whole guy asked, one of the guys there asked Drax to dance, and dancing's only for people who are pathetic. Then it's shot later, he's out there dancing. Mantis is cutting a rug.
Well, and the whole Footloose connection with dancing too.
Oh yeah, exactly. Then the next thing you know, they're out, and you can't. I did a really bad job here of doing the logo, but you see them leaning up against, passed out, leaning against a pole, still looking for Kevin Bacon, and then a lady's like, I can tell you where they are, and basically shows them star maps, but it's $40 for the map, and they spent all their money that they earned taking pictures, which was funny because Mantis is holding it like a puppy, as they walk into the bar. But then she starts using her controlling power and tells the lady to give it to us for free. And so they get to Kevin Bacon's house, which is funny seeing him, a complete Christmas nerd. The decorations everywhere. He's shout out to Nerdist too for a lot of their Easter eggs. He's watching a video or an old Christmas movie where Santa is actually kidnapped by Martians because Martians want to bring him to Mars so they can have Christmas. So,
and obviously, Nightmare Before Christmas connection there too.
Exactly, nice. I didn't even think about it. That's terrible of me, but nice little chase scene with Mantis, Drax, and Kevin. Drax wanting his little band, the Christmas decoration, was pretty funny. I hope we get that in the what I got. Oh, I've got my Guardians of the Galaxy Lego Advent Calendar. So a lot of fun so far. The first one I got was Peter Quill.
Is he wearing a Christmas sweater or anything?
No, just his regular Ravagers outfit. Then I got, it's weird. It's a little box, but you put the headphones or his in there, and I think this is the Walkman for the has a little tape. But hopefully we get a Kevin Bacon figure and maybe Drax an ugly Christmas sweater. They do have what we see in the final scene. What?
Cosmo, maybe?
Hopefully Cosmo. That'd be sweet. And I know Rocket and Mantis are in it, but they have Groot as a Christmas tree too. So which we see later. Speaking of Groot, we'll kind of jump to that. We get a new look for Groot. A lot of people are calling him Swole Groot. So
yeah, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people got a problem with it. It makes sense. He's been in a different form every time since the first movie at the end.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing I kind of noticed with this, and I'd have to go back and watch again between both the new trailer and the holiday special, but it almost looks like there is a human in Groot's costume now.
Yeah, it looks like that. It may be because it's a lesser budget, and they use that a lot. That kind of goes back to some of the early stuff.
It's my form for human in tree costume.
Yeah, because I know some scenes with Jar Jar and Phantom Menace were actually him in the suit with just the helmet, but sometimes they just superimpose the head, and the rest of it is Ahmed Bess's body, which you notice in certain scenes. So. Which makes sense. They did film this during filming of Guardians Volume 3. And one thing cool too, I was fine with the new look for Groot. And I know we're both fans of Screen Crush. And he was doing a little Easter egg also. And one thing I totally forgot was at the end of the first Guardians, that when Groot kind of sacrifices himself, he actually dies in the movie. And Baby Groot is his son.
Huh. And it's a different Groot.
So it is two different Groots, and that's why he's grown up to be a different.
That's why he has a shorter and fatter head.
I guess so. But it'll be easier to interact too with that Disneyland. Even though the full-size Groot there, that was pretty cool, I guess so. But yeah, I have no problem with it. I thought he looked fine, and we know he loves music because at the beginning he was dancing his butt off, which was, like I said, a great song.
Well, I don't know if Groot's been out at Avengers Campus, has he? I remember he used to be in front of, the Guardians.
Yeah, Mission Breakout.
Yeah, Mission Breakout all the time. But
yeah, I think he's still in front of there. I feel like I seen him last time I was over there, but I know a lot of people are paying more attention to the other characters walking around, and I think, so.
We got a picture with Groot at one point. It's a good meet, good picture.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Honestly, the park's Groot. I mean, I know it's, as you mentioned, it is Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 or original Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 1 ahead of it. But I don't know. Maybe his just head's longer or he's taller, but
yeah,
I guess we shall see.
And I always thought it was kind of weird that the ride takes place right before probably Guardians 2, Volume 2, because Baby Groot's in the thing. So it's weird that they have Baby Groot in the attraction, but then full-size Groot outside of it. So
right.
But it makes sense, I guess. Yeah, so they finally get to kidnap him. Not before he calls the police, and we actually see some really cool Mantis in action. The way she moves and jumps like an insect, kind of around. And she's a pretty good fighter, something we really haven't seen much before. But yeah, it was cool the way she got all the police to fall asleep, and then the Drax getting tickled by bullets. There's not too much to talk about this other than, I mean, just the action that happens was pretty fun. And then they finally take him in, find out as he's talking that he's an actor, and how they discuss actors when they're in the ship and everything. So it's funny how she uses him to be nice and calm. Then they arrive back at nowhere. Groot kind of gets Peter's attention, and like is it I I started tearing up. I don't know why. It must be the spirit of Christmas or something. But when Peter walks out in this totally dungy little place that they're in, and it's just completely decorated and lights and dollar store decorations, which is still great. I love dollar store Christmas decorations, and just Peter's reaction and everything was super cool. And everybody coming out, even Nebula into the thing, makes it snow, and just the music that's playing, you get that traditional Christmas wonderment music. Um, yeah, it was really cool. Then of course, Groot wheels out a big old box, starts shaking, and then Peter's like, "Wait, what's going on here?" And it's Kevin Bacon, and kind of like he's the spirit kind of drops for a little bit. He's like, "You can't, basically, why'd you kidnap him and all this stuff?" And then he's like, all, of course, nice, calm, and collected. Kevin Bacon is, and then Peter knows that Mantis, you know, uh,
kind of
used her powers on him, and
mind control.
yes, and put him back to normal, gets him back to normal, and he's freaking out. So I don't know, it's pretty fun. Then of course Kraglin's like, oh, what, he kind of wonders why you did this, and they're like, oh, Kraglin told us that the reason why you hate Christmas and stuff. He's like, oh, yeah, paraphrasing and everything, but then Kevin Bacon winds up watching them and seeing how they're a big family, so he decides, you know what, oh no, they tell him that that he was so sad about Christmas, and that's why he wanted to bring him because he's his hero, and he decides to give him the present of music, the greatest present of all. Again, another great song with the old 97s. And this part, if this doesn't tug at your heartstrings, I don't know what does. But the Guardians gift exchange, and I mean, really, really cool. I think the funniest one, or the one that hit the most, was Nebula giving Rocket Bucky's metal arm, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, I was reading a little in the Twitter discourse of how she got that arm. I don't know if I'm fully up with that, but I mean, I guess she's a robot. So
yeah,
and Bucky's only part robot.
What would it say? Or
basically that she beat him up for it.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I don't know if there was I think it was a James Gunn tweet or whatever, and it was in less words or more delicately put, but yeah, she did what she had to do to get the arm.
Well, we find out from the Dormilaje that it's easy to get off if you hit the right buttons at the right time. So
right.
And I think the reason why
got a new one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the reason why it kind of hit, of course, in Infinity War, he was like, I'm going to get, asked him for his arm. I'm going to get the arm. But, going back to like Infinity War, Rocket and Nebula were the only Guardians that didn't get blipped away. So that was a little heartwarming scene. Then Cosmo gives everybody a dead rodent. It was that like little rat
thing?
Yeah, that they were doing the gambling on the first movie with. Groot gives everybody dioramas of the story that as it happened, and he gives Kraglin, which I'm glad we get so much Kraglin. I'm a big fan of his and Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, and that he's got the mohawk, Yondu's arrow mohawk, which he said he's still not gotten the controlling the arrow yet, which we saw a little bit at the end of Guardians 2. But his little diorama was that scene. It was almost like Spaceballs when they're looking at the video of themselves at the same time. It was Kraglin holding the small Kraglin, holding the small as far as it went. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then of course, Mantis, like I said earlier, drops the bomb. That the reason why they did that is because, or basically that she is Peter's sister. So, which I think is going to pay big into the next movie. But then, yeah, that's it. They send Kevin Bacon back. They wave him off, and then we get Peter tells, was it just Mantis or all of them that Kraglin never told him the end of the story? And so it
I
goes,
think it was all of them, or
yeah,
at least Mantis and Drax or whoever.
yeah. That Kraglin never saw, or he didn't know the end of the story. And we go back to the animation uh, with Yandu going back to the trash as he's a present for himself, and then he opens it, and it's a little green figure that, if you go back to the first Guardians, is on his dashboard on his ship, and he knew that's from Peter, and of course it probably made his heart grow 3 sizes. And then we see a young Peter walk into his little quarters and opens up his present that's on his bed from Yondu, and it's his twin blasters. So we see how he gets his weapons, and nice little heartwarming. Then you see them together in the cockpit doing the old, punching the arm and punching the arm, and smiles and light speed. And that's the end of a very fun, funny, heartwarming holiday special. Then credits end, of course, with a post-credit scene, and it's Rocket and Cosmo decorating Groot as a Christmas tree. So, yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. I think Marvel, like I said, headed out of the ballpark again with their special presentations. I hope we see more of these. Um, we've got 2 new holiday traditions, a Halloween one and a Christmas one. So,
Yeah, it was fun. I also thought it was good in comparison to Werewolf by Night. I felt that one. I mean, they're almost identical in duration, but that one, the pacing felt appropriate. Like they just managed to tell the whole story in a truncated amount of time, whereas this one felt a little rushed.
yeah.
But I think that just plays into the fact that we're so familiar with the characters and want to see a longer, more drawn out story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all good. And as I said, I will definitely be giving it another watch or two before we get to the 25th. And especially after getting that big trailer drop this week. Or
yeah.
trailer apocalypse. It was like,
dude, it was like Christmas.
and D23 were all going on in Brazil.
Oh yeah, and even non-Disney, but I like when I saw the trailer for the Beast Wars Transformers, and I'm like, that looks cool, because I was never a big Beast Wars fan, but I saw that trailer. I'm like, that looked pretty cool. Then
and Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
and then
that
earlier
dropped.
in the week we got a trailer for the second trailer for Super Mario Brothers, which I think got a lot of the skeptics more on board with how many references there are to the game and other Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my favorite, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Which has seen a lot of great Disney parodies through the meme channels on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. Shout out Pirates of the Pacific Instagram page. He was nailing it with
gratuitous Disney memes as well.
Yeah.
I like the one with Wendell. I saw one with Fozzie Bear. Saw the one with Baloo. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, but the trailer we're talking about is that we did get the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Volume 3 first trailer. Before that, I just want one more thing on the holiday special. It was cool that they were actually able to do it while filming Volume 3. James Gunn said they pretty much filmed this on their days off. So there was no real days off. So it was nice that they were able to do that and have everybody on board too. You could tell they're a big family. You heard. Go ahead.
I thought they filmed during Volume 2, but maybe they just came up with the idea during Volume 2.
Yeah. He said he had the idea for a few years, and then I think he said even after Volume 1.
During Volume 2, is that when they filmed the scenes for Mission Breakout?
That is true, yes.
Yeah.
And so I believe they also filmed the Cosmic Rewind while filming Volume 3 too. So
that would make sense.
You got everybody together. So perfect planning. Like I said, you could tell they're a big family. When they showed the trailer at Comic-Con in San Diego, apparently majority of the cast was in tears. And
a trailer for the Christmas special?
For Volume 3 that we're about to see. I'm not sure exactly what was shown, but some of the stuff sounds like it was shown there. And I could see why they were in tears. And if you see like Karen Gillan's Instagram and I forget her name, Mantis is
Clementoff.
Yeah, you could tell that they're we're going to be a mess at the end of this movie. So
well, and for both of them too. I mean, I think they're characters that came into the franchise with smaller roles, not expecting to be such a big part of it. So
Yeah.
I can see, especially for those two actors, it being a big deal for them. Where I think it'll, as I think we're all kind of preparing for a big storyline with Rocket, we'll probably get bigger deals with both Mantis and Nebula.
Yeah. So I'm going to cue it up here. And if you haven't seen it, which if you're a Disney fan, I'm sure you've seen it by now, but here is the trailer for Guardians Volume 3. I went all the way to the end. So here we go.
We were gone for quite a while. But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its guardians. Hello, we come in peace. Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude? No! Ow!
I love their suits.
Don't forget where we came from.
We have been running our whole lives. Pete,
Was that Quill in her
I'm
arms?
done running.
What was that?
Nebula carrying
I love this song too.
Yeah, that was my big prediction, was that Awesome Mix Volume 3 would be 90s.
Yeah.
Into the forever. That beautiful sky. We are.
That's awesome.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
May the 5th.
May the 5th be with the galaxy.
Oh yeah. So I was actually surprised we saw Adam Warlock, which I think he looks cool. The high
Drax's hat here.
Oh, yeah. The High Evolutionary, which is the guy that creates Rocket, and he's played by Myrn from Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm.
Another
yeah, he had a big came out in costume at Comic-Con.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know I'm going to be a mess during this movie. It's no secret. I've mentioned it a million times, but out of all the MCU movies, Guardians are my favorite. The first two movies, I love them all. And this, I know I'm going to be a mess on this one.
Well, I know one of the things I've been reading, and I think it's just speculation, but early on in the casting, we had news that Lady Gaga is going to be in this movie, Guardians Volume 3, and the speculation is that she's playing Rocket's girlfriend, presumably that otter that we see him hugging.
Oh, really?
Which, is kind of funny because they were in A Star is Born together, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
I didn't connect that when you're saying that. That's awesome.
So that'll be, and it's just goes to show, we are always paying attention to the casting news, and then, filming and everything, whatever. And, 2.5, 3 years later, we get a trailer, and then you're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that person was in it. I was just talking to somebody else. I had the same instance with Eternals, where I totally remember Kit Harington being cast as the Black Knight specifically.
Yeah.
Forgot all about it, which was good because by the time we get to the movie, they don't introduce him as the Black Knight. They just introduce him as Dane Whitman or whatever, her boyfriend.
Yeah.
But, had I remembered, I'd be like, oh, yeah, isn't he supposed to be the Black Knight? And people are like,
he knows nothing.
You know nothing, Dane Whitman.
Yeah. So love the holiday special. It's definitely an instant Christmas tradition.
Holiday special. Also, after watching the trailer, I think I had seen something on Instagram about it prior to the trailer coming out, but that ship that we see in the holiday special is their new ship.
Yeah.
I never really thought about ships as much. I don't like. I guess I do in Star Wars because they have so much of a tie-in with the characters in the story. But for some reason with this, I didn't give it a second thought. I was like, oh, they just pick up ships wherever, like Grand Theft Auto or something,
Yeah. Which it looks really cool. Again, the music that's selected for this trailer.
Yeah,
I believe at Comic-Con. What was that?
Hopefully you'll get that ship in your Lego set too.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Because compared to the Star Wars one, there's hardly anything that they show off that would be surprises. We got Thanos armor, like food stuff, but there's a Groot, Christmas tree Groot.
Nice.
So yeah, loved it. Cannot wait. I believe at Comic-Con they used a flaming lips. What was the song? It had Meant to Be or something.
I don't know.
But this one, I love this song.
We didn't see the Comic-Con trailer though, right?
No.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that was mentioned sounds like what we've seen. I'm sure they got a little bit more. The one thing I remember hearing the most was the baby rocket that you see. So, yeah, this is gonna suck. But before we go, I showed Alex. I'll show it off now since we're on YouTube. Real soon, since we're on the season of giving, we're going to find out a way to do a giveaway for this awesome Wakanda Forever book you can get at Target if you don't want to win it. But this is by I forget the story is by Frederick Joseph, but all the illustrations are from Nicholas Smith, who did he did the
Chadwick Boseman mural in downtown Disney, and there is a new mural honoring Wakanda Forever in downtown Disney in Disneyland Resort.
Awesome. That you guys will be seeing very shortly.
Very, very soon. Yes. Look out to our Instagram and socials. I know y'all enjoyed all the content from Disney World, and expect more of that for two days later this week while we're taking in all of the Wakanda Forever offerings, the Festival of the Holidays offerings, just the Disneyland holiday offerings. We're going to pack it in. I'm bringing my stretchy pants. It's going to be
and I'll tell you what, I'll send you down with some money to grab some stuff that we will add to this for a Christmas giveaway. Black Panther Wakanda Forever still killing it at the theater.
Yeah, we could get a gauntlet. Get the Shuri gauntlet.
Yeah, we'll do something. So we'll talk about that.
I will get a Ziploc bag and send you with some of the peri peri chicken.
Send that my way.
I'm excited to try that.
Awesome. But let us know what you guys thought about the holiday special, and what you think about Volume 3 coming out real soon. And we will have some stuff out. We'll have another episode, I think, before you go to Disneyland, and regular podcast episode. I want to post this, but thank you to our friends and listeners that have been posting their Spotify 2022 music, their raps, that they're some of their favorite songs and podcasts. We've been a part of a number of top 5 people's podcasts, and even one of our DU crew members, John, his longest episode he listened to was part 1 of your guys's honeymoon trip. So he shared that with us in our Patreon thread. So
I think we're gonna listen to the whole thing on the way down to Disney or Disneyland, just so because I'm pretty sure it's a full trip to Anaheim length episode.
Oh, it should. Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be a great listen, getting ready to get to Disneyland as itself. So
yes. And thank you to all you as well. Everybody said that was a fun episode and well paced. As you know, you can get us on here talking about Disney and we won't stop. So
absolutely. And again, shout out to you guys for talking with Sean on Walt's apartment about your experience with Getaway today. I know he shared that with Kimberly, the vice president of marketing there, and she loved the hell out of it, and he sent her the clip. So very cool. So definitely plan on working with them hopefully soon too. So hope you guys enjoy this short little review. Let us know what you thought, and we'll find you on the Podverse somewhere in the near future.
Kevin Bacon is canon.
He is. Well, he's on X-Men too, but we'll talk about that later. See you guys later.